Hello, my beautiful souls. Happy first day of spring, vernal equinox, a time when the energy truly starts to shift. That first day of spring, we're getting the warm air coming in. The days are now becoming longer. Well, they've been becoming longer since our winter solstice. And with the equinox, we have equal amount of daylight and moonlight, nighttime. And so now the days is going to be longer than the night, is more appropriate to say in this instance. And with the first day of spring, we have the movement of the sun into Aries, and very powerfully aligned. We also have the moon shifting into Aries, having our first new moon in Aries for spring. Very powerful energy this week. A lot of shifts otherwise. Astrologically, we had Saturn shift into Pisces about a week ago. That is going to create, Saturn is about like structure, the father figure, government, and Pisces is about spirituality, connection, a higher divinity. And so with Saturn moving into Pisces, things can get a little mucky. We're going to want to become a little more spiritually inclined and kind of let go of those like stern, rigid structures, right? And then Pluto is moving into Aquarius in a couple days. And Pluto is, it's often described as the ruler of the underbelly, right? Death, taxes, divorce, gambling, crime. But it's also about like rebirth and regeneration, right? The phoenix burns to be born again from the pile of ashes. And so Pluto, for me, really represents that energy of rebirth, regeneration. And with Pluto moving into Aquarius, Aquarius is all about community and innovation, technology, technological advances, right? And so with Pluto shifting into Aquarius, there's going to be a rebirth of like societal norms. There's going to be a lot of questioning of social structures. There's going to be a lot of questioning around like how can we make technology benefit everybody, right? Let's create like this sense of globalization for the betterment of society and not for the select few. So there's going to be a lot of like throwing out old ideals, right? Pluto's moving out of Capricorn, which is all about structure, and is moving into Aquarius. So it's really interesting. Saturn rules Capricorn, right? So we have all this structure that's kind of just being broken apart, right? There's this sense of like, you need discipline to accomplish your goals. And once you've accomplished those goals, let's go back and figure out how to make what we've accomplished better. And let's bring this to the masses. And let's do this in the way that's spiritually aligned for everybody involved. So a lot of really strong energy this week. And Aries is about taking action, right? In astrology, Aries represents the divine masculine and Pisces represents the divine feminine. So as we're shifting from Pisces to Aries, we're moving from that divine feminine to that divine masculine energy, from emotion to manifestation, right? From spiritual to physical. And that's really interesting because we're shifting Saturn and Pluto from like Aquarius to Pisces, and then Pluto from Capricorn to Aquarius. There's a lot of like, these are really long-term influences, and as they're shifting, the stage for how they're shifting is being set by the shorter term influences of the moon and the sun moving into Aries. So as these slow moving planets shift to the next phase under the influence of the sun moving from Pisces to Aries, it's really significant that a lot of things that have been working for so long are going to need to be changed. There's a sense of newness to all of this that's coming about. So this is a really exciting time to kind of reflect on what have we built for ourselves, what's no longer working, and what can we do to upgrade, right? Up level, however you want to describe it. We can create 100 analogies. So this is a really great time to revamp, okay? So today I'm doing a reading using the tarot cards to kind of dive a little deeper into these energies. Usually I would focus just on the energy of the new moon, but I feel like with such strong planetary influences happening right now, I'm going to pull a card for each influence to really kind of see what's happening in this moment, right? How is it all weaving together? And I pulled a Ascended Masters Oracle card first, just to kind of like set the stage. And we have Merlin for energy healing. And this represents that this is like a really energy healing, like Reiki, being able to like tune in and heal on a deep spiritual level, not just the physical, but on a deep spiritual level, which I think really speaks to Saturn and Pisces energy. We've got Merlin kind of representing Saturn, and we've got this energy healing moving into Pisces. Keeping in mind, and I'm just looking at my notes over here, that Saturn and Pluto will both be turning retrograde during the summer months for just like 3 months before they turn direct. Saturn will be in Pisces for the next 3 years, and Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 2 decades. So these retrograde periods are going to be time, they'll be moving back into the signs they just came out of. So these retrograde periods in the summer coming up will be time to kind of reflect on what we've learned from these long-term transits and how we can shift the energy even more in a much more beneficial way. So the first card I'm going to pull, I think the energy healing Saturn and Pisces is really kind of the strongest energy. I don't need to pull a tarot card for that. Or maybe I do. Maybe Saturn and Pisces needs 2 cards today. And we have the Two of Wands. And Two of Wands is about, there's a decision to be made, right? He's holding the globe in one hand and looking out from, it appears to be like the edge of his castle, and you see the mountains and the water in the distance. So there's a sense of like, I have everything I need right here, but I know there's more out there, right? There's the sense of like, do I decide to stay where I am, or do I decide to move forward? And I feel like Saturn and Pisces, again, like there's that, we just moved out of Saturn and Aquarius, which is about, creating structure around, why is this escaping me? Revolution, right? There's structure and revolution. We need to bring some structure to the revolution. And now let's get a little more spiritual with it. Let me just fix this. We're sliding a little bit. And kind of just like taking stock of where we're at and what we're going to do with what we've learned and how we're going to move forward with that. And so then Pluto in Aquarius, how is that going to... No, you know what? The new moon in Aries. The new moon in Aries, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, and I'm just kind of going intuitively here as to what cards I need to pull in what order. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is about Queen of Pentacles is such a beautiful card, right? Like the Queen is the emotional aspects of each of the elements, the earth elements. And we have the new moon in Aries, And again, the new moon is about planting seeds, creating growth. And the Queen of Pentacles is very symbolic of growth. What seeds can we plant to ensure the best harvest? And this is about like our physical environment, our jobs, our careers, creating success, long-term success down the road. So the new moon Aries wants us to really focus on how can we set ourselves up for success down the road. As the sun moves into Aries, we've got a lot of movement. The Eight of Wands, it's like, but we still need to take action, right? I remember hearing someone on the train, a conversation, and the one person was like, manifestation, manifestation, and the other person was like, manifestation is bullshit. It's all about that hard work. And I really wanted to step in, but Spirit was telling me, no, this is not the time, just listen. But I wanted to step in and say it's both. You can't have manifestation without the hard work. And hard work creates manifestation, right? To just say it can't, like you snap your fingers and wish it to existence, is just simply not true. It's not logical. But to say that like your hard work is not going to bring you reward, it's like, well, then what's the point, right? So manifestation is a result of hard work. And so we're planting these seeds in the new moon in Aquarius for success, but we have to take action, right? We can't just plant the seeds and walk away. There needs to be, we've got this wand energy right now. It's taking aligned action. Success loves action. Success loves clarity. Success loves speed, right? So plant the seeds and then, get your, I'll create the gardening analogy, get your garden tools ready, get your weeder ready, get the fertilizer ready, make sure your water's full, like be ready to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming up. And so then we have Pluto in Aquarius. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. Wow, interesting. So Pluto in Aquarius, right? We've got the Knight of Pentacles is about like, all right, we need to contemplate before we move forward. The Knight is all about taking action, but the Knight of Pentacles is about taking thoughtful action. So we're getting the Sun in Aries is like, take action, but Pluto in Aquarius is like, but let's make sure we are being smart about it, we're being thoughtful, we're not just rushing headlong into things, right? We've got these seeds planted from the Queen of Pentacles. Let's make sure that the actions we're taking line up with the seeds that we have planted, right? Like, go back with gardening because it's spring, right? Like if you are planting sunflower seeds and they need extra light, making sure they get planted in a sunny place versus like in the back of your house where there is no sun, right? So that thoughtful action that we're taking. And so we did the new, well, the vernal equinox. So we've got the equinox. So what's the theme for the season overall? Oh, we have the Five of Cups reversed. And wow, this really hits home. Five of Cups is, there's a lot of grief. And so this week there have been 4 people in my orbit. Some were close, some are like next step removed. I've had 4 people in my orbit who have passed from this existence to the next. And then 2 more people I know of have disappeared on a kayaking trip, and their family is searching for them. So, wow. The theme of spring is there is going to be some grief. This really lines up This week, there's been a lot of grief for me. And there's like the sense of like reflecting on how this grief is affecting us, right, when it's reversed. For me, the first friend that passed was a mother. She's very young, and it brought up a lot of the unresolved grief that I have for my mother's passing. And then another friend's mother passed, and couple friends from high school. So wow, that just kind of took me by surprise. So, well, not by surprise, but so yes, there's a lot of strong energy. Yes, we need to be present of what's happening in our lives, present for what's happening in our lives, but taking time to honor the grief that still exists. We can't ignore this grief. There's going to be a tendency to want to ignore it and to focus on the things in life, but it's really important to like acknowledge the sadness. Really feel that sadness, and because if we just ignore it, it's just going to build. And sadness is a part of life. Talking about Pluto, planet of regeneration, I truly believe that, physics, energy is neither created nor destroyed, it just transforms. And while the loved ones that have left this, their consciousness has left their body from the earthly plane, their energy and their spirit is still with us, and they're here for us. So just remembering that and honoring that. Yeah. So I'm called to pull one more card after that, and let's just see. I don't necessarily have anything significant that this card should represent, but the Nine of Pentacles. 9 is about nearing the completion of a cycle. Yeah, there's a lot of Pentacles energy, a lot of Earth energy here, Earth and Fire showing up, and the seeds that we plant are going to take hold, and we are going to be able to have something to show for it. But we have this lady dressed, just remembering to honor what it's taken to get us here and the people in our lives. So, wow. I hope that this message finds whoever needs to hear it most today. It certainly hits home for me. I am here for you. Please reach out if you feel called to do so. I would love to offer you a reading. If you have some questions about what's going on in your life, this reading is a collective reading. And if you feel called to dive deeper, I offer natal chart readings as well as one-on-one tarot readings, and we can also combine the two and do a natal chart reading with the tarot, similar to how I pull tarot cards for each of the astrological influences today. And if you don't feel called to do so, just remember that, what's the lyric? For every cycle, turn, or whatever, right? Life comes with its ups and downs, and it's important to honor both. And there's a lesson for every up and down, and we are not going to necessarily see what that lesson is until after we're out of the cycle. But when we're in the cycle and feeling those heavy, deep feelings, just know that there is something to be learned, and it will show itself. That lesson will be revealed down the road. So I send my love to all of the families who have been affected by loss this week, whether it was in my personal circle or in the global circle. I'm just sending you love. Namaste.